All right, so I'm Jan-Simon Moeller. I'm the release manager. And for those of you that are here the first time, um, you can easily reach me under these coordinates. Please note our ISC channel moved to Libera, just as a quick heads up. Today I have essentially 3 topics to talk about. A quick update on the CIAT, continuous integration and automated testing expert group. I have an update on the Yocto project LTS effort, long-term support for Yocto. And I also have some quick notes on the software bill of materials. Let's start with the CIAT update. Here is a quick overview what we have in place, essentially from our Garrett server over here. We do build the artifacts. We then start a test job in our Lava infrastructure and feedback into Garrett, so the developers in a very tight loop know if the change passed all the tests. So what are the benefits here? We have in the infrastructure a large number of boards. If you're a hardware vendor, you can add additional boards easily with a lab. This means we do not need to ship boards around, which simplifies access to the boards. And also we can, in the Lava infrastructure, we can easily have more boards being tested than will fit on your desk, essentially. So this greatly improves our access to hardware. Also, the software components can be tested on every change. So each change that goes into AGL is being tested. That's automated. We do not need to juggle SD cards and the test runs without user interaction. And this ensures the stability of our AGL UCB platform. What we have accomplished is that every commit runs a set of boot tests. We reuse upstream projects. We do reuse Yocto P tests. Those are tests provided by the Yocto project for its packages that they have. We reuse some of these. There are other people that use Lava, and they also host tests or test definitions. We use some from there. We have our own set of tests for the AGL services, so for our app framework services in this case. We run these. We have a few CAN-specific tests if the CAN bus is wired up, and we have added a screenshot tests, so we can actually say the home screen is up. We do not test all of the UI automatically on purpose. So that's out of scope right now. But I have heard that a member is working on adding also test automation in that area. So stay tuned, there might be a presentation. Also, we are collaborating with our upstream project. AGL is member of the Yocto project, and as part of that, we can add our layer, in this case, Meta AGL Core, to the Yocto project's own CI infrastructure, to the Yocto project auto builder. And this means with this, we ensure that our core layer also works with the very latest code base. So we can now say that the next Yocto version will work with AGL as well. This is very important because we get notified early if something breaks upstream, and not, let's say, half a year or a year later when things go into release and we adopt it. Yeah, so this is important in two ways. A, we know things still work, and B, we can make sure that we correct changes that are incompatible in time upfront and can react. Outlook. So we will have changes for the new app framework development. We will have changes for the expert groups that work on this particular topic. So it is important that each expert group also contributes to the testing efforts to make sure that their particular area of interest is covered, and we can ensure the stability of the platform through this. So this affects all expert groups from IVI, IC, up to the new container and mesh. Let me talk also some more about the Yocto project's long-term support and give a status update here. The Yocto project LTS effort with the Dunfell release is successful, and it was decided to continue this effort. Nevertheless, the next cycle is planned to be in next spring. So a new LTS will be announced as the successor of Dunfell. Right now, 2 companies voiced interest in extending Dunfell. And if you have the need for this, now would be the right time to speak up within the Yocto project and support such an effort. For AGL, this means we plan to rebase next spring our master branch then after Marlin to the then new LTS. The discussion in the Yocto project continues, and as the effort is successful and people are happy with the outcome of Dunfell, the current plans are to do 2 things. A, the Yocto project wants to expand the lifetime to 3 to 4 years, and members also raised the need for a second LTS in parallel, so that we do not, if we go like up to 4 years, then we do not want to get stuck in some areas for 4 years and then until we can jump to the next LTS. So the discussion is right now to extend the lifetime to 3 or 4 years from the Yocto project side, and also have a second LTS in parallel, which means, let's say we do the 4 years, we would have then a parallel LTS every other 2 years. So there would always be a 2-year overlap. That's in discussion, and the Yocto project is looking for the funding by its members. And also some quick notes about the software bill of materials and what AGL can help here. So in recent news, there is a lot of buzz about what software bill of material means. So basically, it's a list of components that were used to build a given piece of software, right? This is along the lines of supply chain. There are projects within the LF family like OpenChain that help here. So we are working with the players there. And for us, this essentially means SBOM will be mandatory. How can we support this? There are a few ways. Yocto already writes out a lot of information about how things are constructed. We already have this information because we build everything, right? So Yocto has existing files that can be used for this. Now, there has been an interchange format defined. This format is called SPDX. And these existing files are not SPDX. To generate a manifest in the SPDX format, we have right now one option, and that is to use the support we have for uploading to Fossology. Fossology is a separate server which will scan the sources and will then be able to generate an SPDX formatted file, which you can use to create a software bill of material. A new option is also to use the Meta SCA layer. We don't have that integrated yet, but that layer has now support for a new compliance group of checkers, and that is interesting. Might be a little lighter than the setup with Fossology, which requires an own server just for that. Also, because it's a mandatory topic, the upstream Yocto project is also working on an integrated solution because we have all the data. So it is more about how do we present this, how do we generate the appropriate files. So more on this will come. I'm sure the next Yocto project LTS that we will migrate to in next year, early next year, will contain a solution for this. All right, that was my update so far, and thanks for joining. I hope you enjoy the Tech Day. Back to Dan.